What is going on, everyone? It is me, Lone, and this is Lone Gaming. Today I have another update available video for you. I'm really enjoying making these because I'm getting to talk about different types of gaming news and different topics and different games in general, which I'm really enthused about. So if you go on to like this video, please like. If you go on to dislike this video, feel free to dislike. And for today, I've got 3 gaming news topics for you again, so let's get to the first topic. So if you haven't been living under a rock, you'll know that The Division was actually released today in Australia and will be tomorrow for America and I believe the rest of the world. I'm too tired to think about how time zones work at the moment. But what I wanted to talk about, and I've actually played it by the way, there are some server issues right now so I can't get onto the game. But so far, at least of what I've played, the whole 10 minutes until I encountered server issues, it's been okay, it seems fine. It looks decent on the Xbox One, again, because I'm used to PC gaming. But what I wanted to talk about specifically is the fact that The Division is getting timed exclusive content on the Xbox One. If you want to see the article that I'm talking about, it is listed in the description below. In fact, all 3 articles about today's gaming news topics are from PC Gamer. I really like that website, so feel free to click on those if you want further information. But effectively, the first 2 paid expansions of The Division will come to Xbox One 30 days before the PC and PS4, and this was told to us by Ubisoft on their blog. Now, I think this raises an interesting topic about timed exclusives, let alone exclusive content in general, whether it's games like Street Fighter V or Halo or whatever. And I do want to talk about that because, again, I think it's interesting and raises a few good points. Now, first, let's talk about timed exclusive content. We know that this exists on both sides of the argument. Back in the day, the predominant timed exclusive content was Call of Duty on the Xbox 360, where Xbox 360 users got DLC for Call of Duty 30 days or a month before those on the PlayStation 3 got the content, and also on the PC as well. Now that is actually swapped. For Activision and Call of Duty, it is in fact PS4 users that get the content 30 days before. And now, of course, we have The Division and Xbox One users getting their content before, and I'm sure there are other examples. And some people might feel really jaded about this if they're on the other console that's not getting the content earlier or at the same day as the competing platform. And yes, I can definitely understand why people might feel a bit jaded and feel a bit shitty, because look, I was on the beneficial end during the heyday of Call of Duty, getting that content early, and now I'm not. But I can't necessarily complain that I'm not getting the content at the same time, because that would make me a hypocrite, right? I was enjoying the content early for so long, I can't now turn around and say that timed exclusives are the devil. Now, of course, there are arguments that can be made that timed exclusive content is bad for the consumer. It might give consumers on certain platforms less value compared to other platform users, even though they're paying the same amount. And while I think those claims and arguments are legitimate, what I will say is that this is a necessary part of the business. It might be a necessary evil, but given that these are gaming platforms, the only way that they can remain competitive is by offering content that is not available on other platforms, on their competitor platforms. So whether that's in the form of timed exclusivity, like the case with Tomb Raider for example, or even Division DLC, or whether that's in the form of full exclusivity, like the case with Street Fighter V, this is one of the only ways that consoles have been able to be competitive. And while people might complain that timed exclusivity is a bad thing and shouldn't happen, I've never seen someone put forward a better solution, because we must remember at the end of the day, Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo, they're competing against each other. These consoles and these platforms and hardware that they create are being put out into a very competitive market, and they need to remain relevant and they need to remain competitive. And again, I have not seen someone put forward a viable solution for a company like Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo to be able to remain competitive. Now, Xbox One tried to do that by offering an entertainment box, and they bundled the Kinect and they tried to offer this entertainment experience, but that didn't work out in the end because the PS4 is selling so much better, because that effectively was just a gaming brick. There you go, you can play games, there's none of the fancy features that the Xbox One might offer over the PS4. People just want to play games, so there you go. That's what Sony did with the PS4, and that's why they're selling so well. And combined with that is the fact that they have been offering timed exclusive content or solely exclusive content like Street Fighter. So again, that goes to show to me that aside from exclusivity deals, there aren't many other ways for companies like Microsoft and Sony to be able to remain competitive on a game front. You know, I'm talking about being competitive with a game platform. Yes, there are other ways, such as by, for example, having Netflix on your console, but another platform doesn't have Netflix. That's not the case now, but that's an argument, right? But there's no other way in terms of games for consoles to remain competitive unless they offer exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. Otherwise, there is no need for different consoles. Why would you buy an Xbox One and a PS4 unless you were getting two different things that you couldn't get on the other platform? And that is exactly why Nintendo does so well. Now, they haven't been doing well with the Wii U, but the fact is, if you want to play Nintendo games like Pokemon or Zelda or Mario Kart or whatever, or Super Mario, you need to buy a Nintendo console, and that's the long and the short of it. So that's the hook that Nintendo has to have consumers purchasing one of their hardwares. Now recently they aren't doing well, but the same argument applies to any console. If you look at Xbox One or even Xbox in general, what's been the main exclusive piece of content or software that's been sold over the years on the Xbox? Halo, of course. Halo has been the pinnacle of Xbox, and the fact is that off that game alone, Microsoft has shifted thousands if not millions of units because you can only get it on the Xbox. Now there are exceptions to that, I know. On the PC I believe you can play the original Halo, but generally that's the best way that these companies can be competitive. So while I do understand people being a bit pissed off with timed exclusivity and exclusivity deals in general, they're a necessary evil. They kind of have to exist in order for consoles to be unique. Otherwise, again, there is no need for different consoles or for varying consoles. But anyways, I've labored about that point enough. The second news topic, and this is a quick one, a fan project going by the name of Skywind. Now I'm assuming that many of you know what Skywind is, but for those of you that don't, it is effectively a fan mod of the Elder Scrolls Skyrim to merge all of the world of Morrowind into the game and into the engine. And this has been something in development for actually 4 years now. And last week they released their 4th official development video showing the development of Skywind, showing where they're at, and they're now actually asking for more volunteers to help them with the process. And the reason why I wanted to include this topic in this news video is to encourage all of you that are watching, if you are able to lend your hand to the development of Skywind and be involved in something potentially massive, then please go check out the video in the description below to find out how you can actually support and actually help them. Because I just love seeing projects like this. The fact that the modding community and the communities of these kinds of games in general can just band together and create something absolutely awesome. It's a testament. It's a testament to this community and their passion and their love for games, and for, in particular, Bethesda games. So please, again, if you do have the time and you do have the skills and expertise, I encourage you to support and volunteer for Skywind. And the last news topic is about Doom and how it has received a new reverse sleeve cover thanks to a poll by id Software on the Doom Twitter account. This was all prompted by debate and fan feedback, or criticism I should say, about the Doom cover art. People were saying it's too generic, people didn't like the fact that it was pretty much a cliche because it was like every other FPS cover art out there. While I can see the degree that yes, it is a cliche and yes, it is generic, I personally still liked it, and I didn't necessarily understand why there was such a massive uproar to a cover art, to be honest. It was a bit odd to me, especially because so many games nowadays are downloaded digitally, so you're not actually getting a physical copy, you're not getting a cover art. Now of course there are still people that purchase games in stores at your GameStop and EB Games, that's fine, but to complain about a cover art, it seemed a bit silly to me. But anyways, id Software said, look, we know you don't like the cover art, so we're actually going to give you the chance to choose and to pick and to vote on the reverse sleeve cover art for the game. And the two following options on screen right now were able to be voted by fans, and recently in the past day, this one on screen was chosen as the winner. And this is the classic Doom cover art. Everyone knows when they see this particular piece of art that it's Doom, so that's definitely why it actually won by about 60%, I believe, of the total votes. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because I think it's a really great thing that the developer and the publisher involved fans and incorporated their feedback and comments in some sort of way. That's why people really like contributing to Kickstarters, because they're involved in the development process of a game. And just this one small aspect of voting on a cover art can really make fans feel involved and really make them feel important in the process of developing a game. And from this, I would actually encourage developers and publishers to find other cool ways to incorporate fans in some sort of way. Yeah, not every game can involve fan feedback, continuously throughout the development process in an alpha or a beta or even like a Kickstarter game. I understand that, but being able to choose a cover art, or maybe being able to choose, I don't know, the soundtrack or a character or skins or something is really cool and make fans feel like they're part of the process. So I do applaud id Software for doing this, and I encourage other developers and publishers to find other niche ways to do the same thing. So anyways guys, that's all from me. Again, please put your thoughts in the comments below about the topics covered in this video. This has been Lone, and I'll see you next time.